Hi, my name is Denise, and I'd like to share some tidbits about respite. I've been a foster parent for 14 years. A long time ago, I remember here at Family Alternatives, we used to have a form that you would complete with information about your child's doctor, where you were going, emergency contact numbers, and so forth. I found that very, very helpful, and I also found it very important to introduce the youth to the respite provider prior to going on vacation or what have you. I know a lot of times we wait for an emergency situation before we think to use our respite, but it's very important to take a break while you're doing care. At least once a month. I know we all take our children in and we love them and they're a part of the family, but you still also need to realize that you need a break every now and then. So it's best to try to plan your respite out instead of waiting to a breaking point when you can't handle it any longer. Respite over the years has changed somewhat because I've mainly had teen girls. And so I've mainly had in-home respite where I go out and somebody comes in because you just need that break every now and then. And then the girls really appreciate having someone come in that they know and have met and that they have a rapport with. That's very important, to get someone where your youth will respect them and your provider will also respect your youth. But one way you can go about trying to make sure you do have a successful respite is to invite your respite provider over, introduce them to the youth, introduce them to your home, the environment, give them as much information as you can within legal parameters about your youth. And let your youth ask them questions as well. That's very important because the youth always want to know, well, do you have children? What do you like to cook? And so forth and so on. And it's also up to the foster parent to let the youth know that while they're out, the rules of the house remain the same, that the respite provider is there to keep everything running smoothly as if the provider was there. So that's helped to make successful respites also. It's, as I said, respite can back to the scheduling. 10 days is not too much in advance to let your children know what's going on. And then you start planning your process from right there. Okay, well, what are we doing? Well, Mary's coming over. You know, she'll be over tomorrow. I'll introduce you to her in case they don't know who she is. But once you do get a regular regular respite provider, it's really good and it's really nice. You can invite them in for the kids' birthdays and different events, and they really get to gel with the family and know the youth as well as yourself really good. So I hope this has helped you a little bit. I had a young lady come over that I had provided respite for in the past. And obviously she either had not taken her meds well that week or she was just not feeling well. And all of a sudden, I had gone in to use the restroom. I come out, she was throwing things off the wall, pictures, and just saying that, you know, this is not a good time for respite. This is not a good time. And so I said, well, did you tell anybody that before coming? So I talked to her as much as I could, and then I called the county number, the after hours number. We called St. Joe, and we had a team to come out and talk to her and try and calm her down. But it didn't last. She eventually ended up going to St. Joe for the weekend. And that's something that the county does not like for it to happen, but unfortunately, out of 14 years, that was my only really difficult respite that I had to provide. I have not had any problems with providers coming in to my house at all. Just cooking up all the food, popping up all the popcorn, everybody having a good time. The only thing I would like to say in wrapping up is that If parents do not have a copy of the form, the respite form from Family Alternatives, I suggest they get a copy and complete that. It provides all the information that the respite provider needs, and whether they know it or not, that makes for a very smooth transition into respite. And it also makes them think, and sometimes they have to update their emergency numbers or contact information. And so that, and letting the youth know 10 days in advance is very important, and it's also an agency policy, and it's something we should try to adhere to. And I think from that point on, you'll have a successful respite.